The jungle was quiet. Too quiet. Ryan opened his eyes, gasping for air. Smoke filled his lungs. He coughed hard and rolled onto his side, blinking through the burning haze. His ship, what was left of it, was in pieces around him. Metal twisted. Sparks flew. Everything was broken. His head throbbed. His suit was torn. His arm was bleeding. He checked the come dead. The locator beacon? Also dead. He was alone on an alien planet. Ryan stood slowly, his legs shaking. He looked around. Strange. Glowing plants lit up the jungle in soft blue and purple light. The night was calm but cold, and shadows moved between the trees like ghosts. He limped toward the trees, looking for shelter. Maybe he'd find something, anything, but then he heard it, a whisper, soft, faint, like wind through glass. Human. Please. Ryan stopped. His hand moved to the small pulse gun on his belt. He turned slowly, eyes scanning the dark dot. Another whisper. Please. Breed with me. Ryan froze. What? He whispered back, unsure if he had imagined it. From the trees, a figure stepped forward. It was a woman. Or something like a woman. She glowed faintly, skin pale gold, hair like flowing silver light. Her eyes were too large for a human, shining like stars. Her body was slim, shaking, almost too weak to stand. She wore only a thin layer of cloth over her chest and waist. She looked wild, scared, and desperate. Ryan raised his weapon. Who are you? Stay back. The alien woman lifted her hands, palms open, showing she had no weapon. I'm not here to hurt you, she said, her voice soft and trembling. I came because I felt your energy, your heart. I need your help. He kept the gun pointed. You said, breed with me. Why would you say that? Her eyes watered. She fell to her knees, gasping. I don't want to die, Ryan blinked, heart pounding. What are you talking about? The woman pressed her hands to her chest. Her skin was glowing brighter now, but in a way that looked painful. My people. When our moon enters the red phase, we must bond with another physically. If we don't, the energy inside us tears us apart. My body is breaking. I have only hours left. Ryan stepped back, confused. You want me to... What? Have sex with you? She looked up, shame in her glowing eyes. Not just that, it's a life bond. I escaped slavers. They were going to use me during this time, over and over. But I ran. Now I'm alone. No one else is here, only you. Ryan's mind raced. This had to be a trick. A trap. Maybe she was leading him into danger, but her voice, her shaking, felt too real, too honest. Why me? He asked slowly. She smiled weakly. Because you didn't shoot me right away. You didn't run. I sensed something inside you, something good. Suddenly, a loud buzz tore through the silence. A red light flew overhead. Like a drone, the woman's eyes widened in terror. They're here, she whispered. The slavers, they tracked me. Ryan grabbed her arm and pulled her up. Come on! She nearly collapsed but clung to him as he moved fast, ducking into the thick jungle. Branches tore at his skin. Leaves slapped his face. The drone sound got louder behind them. Ryan didn't know what he was doing, but he knew one thing. He couldn't let her be caught. Not like that. Asterisk. Ryan didn't stop running until his legs screamed and his lungs burned. Behind him, the red drone light faded into the trees, but he knew it would come back. They weren't safe yet. He ducked under a thick tree branch and gently lowered the glowing alien woman to the ground. She was barely conscious now. Her skin pulsed with soft golden light, but the glow flickered like a dying candle. Her breathing was fast. Too fast. Ryan looked around. They were deep in the jungle now. The trees grew taller here, twisted together. Like old bones, strange animal calls echoed from far away. He had no idea where they were, but at least the slavers hadn't found them yet. He knelt beside her. Hey, he said quietly, touching her shoulder. Are you okay? Her eyes fluttered. Open. I can't hold it much longer. Ryan leaned closer. Tell me what's happening to you. No more riddles. She swallowed hard. My name is Zara. I'm from the planet Varel. My kind were not like others. We carry strong energy inside us. During the red moon, that energy builds up. If we don't release it, it destroys us from the inside. Ryan frowned. Release. It how? Zyra's eyes filled with tears. Through bonding. Physical bonding with a male, someone whose energy matches ours. But it must be real, a full connection. If the bond is fake, the energy rejects it, then the pain gets worse. She touched her chest. Her skin was burning hot. I ran from the slavers before they could use me. I've been hiding, but the time is almost up. My body is tearing apart. Ryan looked at her, confused and unsure. And now you expect me to just help you like that? Zyra closed her eyes, breathing weakly. No, I didn't expect anything. But when I sensed your presence, your mind, your pain, I thought maybe, just maybe you'd understand. Ryan sat back, heart racing. He didn't know what to believe. She could be lying. Maybe this was some kind of trap. Or maybe she was telling the truth and dying right in front of him. Either way, she was suffering. Zyra suddenly cried out and arched her back. Her glow burst bright for a second, then faded sharply. Her body trembled violently. Ryan grabbed her. Zyra! She gasped, her voice cracking. Please, I don't want to die like this. Her hand reached for his. Not alone. Ryan looked into her eyes. There was no trick there, no games, just fear, pain. And something else, hope. He took a deep breath and shook his head slowly. Why me? Zyra's lips trembled. Because you didn't run. Because you looked at me like I was a person, not a thing. For a long moment, Ryan said nothing. The only sound was the wind moving through the leaves. Finally, he stood up. We need shelter, somewhere quiet. He pulled her gently to her feet. She leaned on him, barely able to walk. They moved together, slowly, through the jungle. Ryan carried her when her legs gave out. Her heat burned against his skin. Her breath grew weaker with each step. After what felt like forever, they found a shallow cave hidden by thick vines. Inside it was dry and quiet. Strange stones glowed softly. In the walls, casting dim light, Ryan laid her down carefully. Her glow was faint now, almost gone. He knelt beside her. If I do this, what happens to me? Zyra looked at him, eyes heavy but clear. If the bond is real, you'll be changed. You'll feel what I feel. A part of me will stay with you forever. You'll know me, and I'll know you. And if it's not real? She turned her head. Then I die. And maybe you get burned from the energy rejection, maybe worse. Ryan stared at the cave wall. His mind raced. He had trained. Or war. He had fought monsters, survived explosions, but this was something else. Still, one truth remained. She needed him. And he was the only one here. He looked down at her glowing skin, now flickering like a dying fire. Zyra, he said, voice calm. I don't know what I'm doing, but I won't let you die. Her lips curved into a weak smile. Then let me show you how. She reached for his hand. He took it. And everything changed. The cave was quiet, but Ryan couldn't sleep. Zyra rested beside him, her body now glowing with a soft, steady light. Her breathing had calmed. The pain was gone for now. Their bond had started. He could feel it. A strange warmth pulsed in his chest, like a second heartbeat that wasn't his own. He looked at her. Peaceful for the first time. Then he heard it, a sharp clicking sound metal against stone. His eyes snapped to the cave entrance. He stood slowly, moving toward the edge of the cave. The vines outside rustled. Something or someone was out there. He grabbed his pulse gun and crouched beside the opening. Zyra stirred. Ryan? She whispered. He said. We're not alone? Suddenly, a red light flashed through the vines. They found us. Ryan grabbed Zyra and helped her up. She was stronger now, but still weak. We have to move, he said. She nodded, fear returning to her eyes. They're slavers. They don't stop. Once they mark a female, they hunt until they catch her. If they get me, they'll rip the bond from me, and you'll die too. Ryan didn't need more convincing. He peeked outside. 3 tall figures moved through the jungle, armed and silent. Red visors glowed in the dark. Slaver scouts. One of them held a tracker. It beeped faster the closer it got. They have our scent, Ryan whispered. We can't outrun them. Zyra held his arm. There's an old ruin nearby. My people once used it for hiding. It's protected by old tech, I can show you. Then let's go. They slipped out the back of the cave and moved through. The jungle shadows, Ryan kept low, listening for movement. Every broken branch or chirping insect made his nerves jump. Zyra leaned on him, guiding them slowly. Her hand glowed faintly, sensing energy lines buried in the ground. "This way," she said. "We're close." Behind them, the slavers were closing in. Then a shot rang out. A red bolt of energy blasted through the air, burning a tree just inches from Ryan's head. He pulled Zyra down and returned fire, shooting wildly into the trees. He didn't hit anyone, but it bought time. They ran again, deeper into the jungle than they saw it. A stone arch stood tall between two cliffs, covered in vines and glowing symbols. Beyond it, a narrow tunnel led underground. Zyra's eyes lit up. "That's it." Ryan helped her through the arch, and the moment they passed under it, the ground hummed. A soft energy shield shimmered behind them, blocking the path. One of the slavers jumped forward and hit the shield boom. Thrown back by the force, Ryan pulled Zyra into the tunnel. "Will they get through?" "Not for a while," she said. "The shield is old but strong. We're safe for now." They entered a wide room deep inside the ruin. The walls glowed with alien writing. Strange crystal lights floated in the air. It felt ancient, sacred. Ryan leaned against the wall, breathing hard. "We can't run forever." Zyra sat on the stone floor. "We won't have to, this place. It remembers my kind. It's responding to our bond." As she touched the wall, it lit up symbols moving like water. "What is this place?" Ryan asked. "It was once a sanctuary for females like me. A place of protection and rest?" He walked around, eyes scanning the glowing walls. "Looks more like a command center." Zyra smiled weakly. "Our kind were healers. But during the war, we learned to fight. Some of our tech is hidden here. Weapons, tools, things that respond to bonded pairs." Ryan's eyebrows raised. "You mean us?" She nodded. "You carry part of me now. The ruin knows." As if hearing her words, the ground opened in the center of the room. A small pedestal rose with a glowing device. It looked like armor, but not like anything Ryan had ever seen. "Put it on," Zyra said. "It will protect you." "It's made for a bonded one?" Ryan hesitated, then reached for it. The armor wrapped around his arm and chest, humming with power. Energy flowed through him, sharp but warm. He gasped. "What is this feeling?" Zyra smiled. "You're linked to me now. My energy flows through you, and this ruin accepts you." Suddenly, a loud crack echoed from above. The slavers had started blasting the shield. "We don't have much time," Ryan said. Zyra stood slowly. "Then we fight." Ryan looked at her, this once weak woman, now standing tall beside him. A bond between them stronger than fear. He nodded. "Together." The deep silence inside the ruin was not peaceful. It felt heavy, like the air remembered every scream, every fight, every soul that once passed through. Ryan stood at the center of the chamber, breathing slowly. The strange armor on his arm pulsed with light. It didn't feel like metal. It felt alive. Zyra walked beside him, her fingers brushing the glowing walls. The symbols responded to her touch, lighting up in waves. She looked stronger now. Her body no longer trembled. The pain had faded, but her eyes still held fear. "This place," she whispered, "was once a sanctuary for bonded pairs. A holy place. My people called it Terranil. It means heart shield." Ryan turned toward her. "Why was it hidden?" "Because during the Great War, slavers hunted our kind," she said. "They feared the bond. They feared what we became when we joined with someone strong. So they tried to destroy all places like this." Ryan looked around. "But this one survived." Zyra nodded. "Barely, and now it's waking up again. Because of us." Just then, a hum echoed through the floor. A hidden panel opened, revealing a small room behind the main chamber. Ryan and Zyra walked inside. Inside was a glowing table filled with floating images, maps, creatures, stars, weapons. Alien technology long forgotten. "This is ancient data," Ryan said. Zyra touched a symbol. A blue light appeared, showing a pair, one Varel female and one human-looking male fighting side by side against black armored enemies. Ryan stepped closer. Wait, that's a human. Zyra looked at him. Your kind helped mine long ago. Long before your Earth knew space travel. The Varel trusted humans. We thought your race had vanished. But maybe fate brought you back to me. Ryan stared at the floating image. He didn't know what to say. His heart felt heavy and full at the same time. Before he could speak, a loud boom shook the ground. The energy shield was cracking. They're almost in, he said. Zyra's face tightened. We need to activate the defense core. She led him to a tall column at the center of the room. Symbols moved across its surface like flowing water. She placed her hand on it and the column glowed brightly, but nothing happened. It needs both of us, she said. Ryan placed his hand next to hers. The light flared. Energy surged through them both. For a second, Ryan saw inside her mind her memories, her escape, her fear, her loneliness. As she saw his battles, his pain, the friends he lost, they pulled back, breathing hard. I felt you, she said. Softly. Ryan nodded. So did I. The column split open with a hiss. Inside was a glowing core, blue and bright, spinning like a small sun. The walls of the ruin shifted. Hidden doors opened. Crystal turrets rose from the ground. The air changed. It felt sharp, electric. They won't get in now, Zyra said. Not alive. Ryan checked his weapon. Then let's make sure of it. They stood at the edge of the cave entrance, waiting. Then the energy shield broke. With a sharp crack, the slavers rushed in, 4 of them, tall and brutal. One aimed a heavy cannon at Ryan, but before he could fire, the ruin struck first. A turret lit up and fired a focused beam. The cannon exploded in the slaver's hands, knocking him down. Ryan moved fast, shooting the second slaver in the leg. The armor from the ruin made him faster, stronger. He felt Zyra's energy guiding his aim, his movement, like she was fighting with him. Zyra raised both hands. The light from her skin grew brighter, and the walls of the ruin answered. Vines shot from the walls, wrapping around the third slaver's legs, pulling him to the ground. The last slaver roared and charged, swinging a plasma blade. Ryan blocked it with the armor. The blade bounced off, harmless. He punched the slaver in the chest with his armored arm. A blow sent the slaver flying across the room, crashing into a stone pillar. Silence fell. The fight was over. Zyra collapsed to her knees, breathing hard. Ryan rushed to her side. Are you hurt? He asked. She shook her head. No, just tired. Bonding, using the ruin. It takes energy. Ryan helped her sit against the wall. You saved us, she said, looking up at him. He smiled faintly. We saved each other. She reached for his hand. There's more. The ruin is not just a weapon, it's a guide. There's a reason you survived that crash, a reason I found you. Ryan stared at her, heart pounding. What reason? Zyra looked toward the glowing core. Because this planet, this war, it's only the beginning. The air inside the ruin felt different now, thicker, warmer, full of energy that buzzed against the skin like electricity. Ryan stood by the glowing core, watching as its light pulsed slowly. Like the heartbeat of the ancient place, Zyra sat nearby, her back against a carved stone bench. Her glow had dimmed again, not from pain this time, but exhaustion. She was resting, but her eyes stayed open, watching Ryan. He turned to her. Are you okay? She gave him a weak smile. I'm here. That's already more than I expected. He walked over and sat beside her. The heat of her body still felt strong through the air, but not burning like before. Now it was warm, calm, familiar. You said this bond would change me, Ryan said softly. What does that really mean? Zyra looked at him, her expression serious. It means part of my life force lives inside you now, and part of yours is in me. If one of us breaks that bond too soon, both sides suffer. Ryan's hand curled into a fist. So I'm stuck? No, she said gently. Not stuck. Connected. If we were forced together, the bond wouldn't work. But we chose it. That makes it real. And real bonds grow stronger over time, or they fade. He thought about that. It wasn't like anything he had ever heard before. This wasn't about rules or science. It was about trust. Zyra touched her chest. There's something more. You've awakened something inside me, something I haven't felt in years. What? She smiled faintly. Hope? Ryan looked down, the weight in his chest, that warm pulse moved again like a second heart. His thoughts weren't only his anymore. Sometimes he heard Zyra's voice in his head, soft and quiet. Sometimes she felt his emotions before he even spoke. He looked at her again. What happens if the bond reaches full strength? Zyra paused, then said, we become something more, together, not just physically, but spiritually, our minds, our energy. Even our senses will link, will fight as one. Think as one? Ryan raised an eyebrow. That sounds overwhelming. It is, she admitted, but it's also beautiful. It's called the bond of fire and light. Few have ever reached it. Fewer survived. Why? Because if there's doubt, fear, anger, lies, it burns the connection from the inside. It can destroy both people. Ryan looked at her for a long moment. I don't know what I'm doing, he said honestly. I'm just a soldier. I crash-landed on this planet with no orders, no plan. And now I'm connected to an alien. Woman I barely know, Zyra touched his hand. But you didn't leave me to die. You didn't run. That says more than words. A silence stretched between them. Then the ruin pulsed again. The glowing core sent out a wave of light, filling the room in gold and blue. Symbols on the walls lit up, brighter than ever. Zyra gasped. It's happening. Ryan stood quickly. What? The bond, it's evolving. Before they could speak again, the core burst with light. Energy wrapped around them, both gold for Zyra, blue for Ryan. They floated slightly off the ground, surrounded by light. Ryan felt a sudden rush of thoughts, images, voices, memories that weren't his. Zyra's. Mother singing. A child's laughter, a prison cell. Screams in the dark, then her voice in his mind. You're inside my heart now, Ryan. And his voice echoed in hers. I won't let you go. Their bodies glowed brighter. Ryan felt strength like never before. His pain, his fear, his doubt gone, only focus. Only clarity. Like he could sense the shape of everything around him, every breath Zyra took, every sound of life in the forest outside. Then the energy dropped. They fell to their knees, gasping. Ryan's skin shimmered with light before fading. Zyra looked at him, stunned. We reached the first phase, she whispered. He blinked. That wasn't full power? No, she said. That was just the beginning. Just then, the stone wall behind the core shifted. A hidden path opened. From within, a cold blue light poured out in a strange sound like deep breathing. Ryan stood slowly. Something's in there. Zyra nodded, her voice quiet. The ruin has accepted our bond. Now it gives us a gift. But it won't be easy to take. Ryan looked down the tunnel. What kind of gift? A weapon? A trial? A piece of destiny? He tightened his grip on the pulse gun. Then let's face it, together. Zyra smiled, standing beside him. Together. Asterisk, the new tunnel was colder. The light that came from the walls was not warm like before. It was cold blue, like ice or a dying star. The air was heavy, like it didn't want them there. Ryan moved first, holding his pulse gun close. Zyra followed behind, one hand glowing, lighting their path. Neither of them spoke. They didn't need to. Their minds were still partly connected. After the bond deepened, Ryan could feel her heartbeat. Zyra could sense his fear, but also his courage. The tunnel opened into a wide, empty chamber. At the center stood a strange object, a tall black crystal shaped like a blade. Floating above a stone platform, it pulsed like it was alive. Zyra stepped forward. That's it. The final test. The ruin's core gift. Ryan kept his eyes on the crystal. It doesn't look like a gift. It's not meant to be easy, Zyra said. Only true bonded pairs can unlock it. But first, it must test us. Ryan didn't like the sound of that. How? Before she could answer, the air screamed. A dark shape exploded from the crystal. It took form, fast, tall, armored, and made of black light. A shadow creature, with glowing red eyes and a twisted blade in each hand. Ryan raised his gun and fired. The shots passed. Straight through. The shadow moved with speed no living thing should have. It struck, and Ryan barely blocked with his armored arm. The blow sent him flying backward into the wall. Zyra cried out and ran to him, but the shadow turned on her. She raised her hands and blasted a wave of golden energy. The shadow staggered, but didn't fall. It's feeding off doubt, Zyra shouted. It uses fear weakness. Ryan stood up, gasping. Then we give it none. They fought side by side. Zyra's light wrapped around Ryan, powering him, guiding him. Every time he struck, she focused his energy. Every time she faltered, he pulled her back to her feet. But the shadow didn't stop. Again and again. It struck Doc, and slowly it pushed them both down. Ryan dropped to one knee, blood dripping from his lip. Zyra collapsed beside him, shaking. I can't, she whispered. It's too strong. The shadow raised both blades. Ryan grabbed her hand tightly. No, we didn't come this far to die. He looked into her eyes. Zyra, listen. Not afraid, not of this. Not anymore. She looked back at him, tears shining. I trust you. She said. Their bond pulsed bright, stronger than before. The crystal above them cracked, and the shadow screamed. The chamber lit up with fire and light. The shadow tried to move, but this time Ryan stepped forward, glowing from head to toe. The armor on his body had grown now, covering his chest, arms, and legs, pulsing with blue-gold light. Zyra floated behind him, her body shining like a star. Their hands touched and energy exploded from between them. The shadow roared and charged, but it was already too late. Together they unleashed a final blast, pure light, pure will, pure bond. The shadow shattered into 1,000 shards. The room went silent. The black crystal lowered onto the platform and cracked open. Inside was a single, small silver ring with a glowing blue gem. Ryan stared at it. That's it? Zyra smiled through her tears. That's everything. She took the ring and placed it on Ryan's hand. The gem pulsed once and sank into his skin, becoming part of him. In that moment, the ruin glowed brighter than ever. Images filled the walls of ancient wars, hidden cities, sleeping machines. One image showed Earth surrounded by darkness. Zyra gasped. That's your home, Ryan nodded. And something's coming for it. A soft rumble shook the chamber. The ruin was awakening more. Zyra looked at him, serious now. Ryan, the bond wasn't just for me to survive. The ruin chose us because something worse is coming. And only bonded pairs, human and Varel, can stop it. Ryan looked down at his hand. The ring's power pulsed through his blood now. I didn't come here by accident, he said. No, she replied. You were meant to find me, and I was meant to find you. Suddenly, their moment was broken by a loud explosion from above. More slavers. They had brought reinforcements. Ryan helped Zyra to her feet. This is it, he said, the last stand. They moved toward the cave entrance, hand in hand, glowing together, 2 hearts, 1 bond, 1 fight. The cave shook again. Dust rained down from the stone ceiling. Distant shouts echoed through the tunnels. More slavers coming fast. They had sent a full team this time. Heavy boots, big weapons, no mercy. Ryan tightened his grip on Zyra's hand. He could feel her heartbeat in his chest. His armor shimmered with light. The silver ring that had melted into his skin glowed brighter than ever. It wasn't just a gift, it was a key. They won't stop, Zyra whispered. They never do. Then we make them, Ryan said. They stood side by side at the mouth of the ruin, staring into the jungle. The sun was rising, casting golden light over the trees. Mist hung in the air like a soft curtain. And through that mist came shadows, 10 slavers, all armed, all armored. They saw Ryan and Zyra and raised their weapons. Ryan didn't move. Zyra closed her eyes and whispered, Let our bond guide us. The ring pulsed. Suddenly, a wave of light burst from Ryan's chest, pushing outward like a shockwave. The jungle shifted. Trees bent. The air, the first slaver fired. The blast hit Ryan's armor and bounced off. Ryan stepped forward, his hands glowing. He raised his arm, and a shield of blue light formed in front of him. It caught the next few shots and shattered them in midair. Zyra moved beside him. She lifted both hands, and vines from the jungle floor shot up like whips, grabbing the slavers. legs and pulling them down. Another wave of light. Ryan ran into the fight. Every move felt natural. Every step felt guided. He wasn't just stronger, now he was faster, clearer. He could see the world in a new way. The bond with Zyra gave him more than power, it gave him purpose. He hit the first slaver with a glowing fist. The man flew back into a tree and didn't move again. Zyra summoned golden light and sent it crashing into a second attacker. The energy melted the slaver's gun. The others hesitated, but only for a second. Then they charged. Ryan and Zyra fought as one. Each strike from him was matched by energy from her. Each time she weakened, he shielded her. Their hearts beat in perfect rhythm. The battle was fast and brutal. In 5 minutes, it was over. The last slaver dropped to his knees, shaking. He looked up at Ryan, eyes wide with fear. "What are you?" he whispered. Ryan stepped closer. "Human." He glanced back at Zyra, who stood glowing like a goddess, and bonded. The slaver ran. Ryan didn't follow. Zyra walked over, her hair glowing in the morning light. Her eyes shimmered with peace and something new, joy. "We did it," she said softly. Ryan nodded. "We survived." They turned back toward the ruin. The jungle was quiet again. The sun was higher now, burning away the mist. Birds sang. Life returned, but inside Ryan's chest, he knew this wasn't the end. "What now?" he asked. Zyra placed a hand on his chest. "Now we share what we found. The bond, the truth. Your world, my world. We're connected." Ryan looked up at the sky. Earth. Home, still out there. Still in danger. He remembered the images on the ruins wall. A coming darkness. A war that hadn't started yet. Zyra spoke gently. "If the slavers knew about us, others will come. But if we can find more like us, more humans in Varel to bond." She didn't finish. She didn't need to. Ryan nodded. "Then we go back to Earth," she smiled, "and I go with you." He reached for her hand again. Their bond pulsed stronger than ever. Together they walked to the edge of the jungle. The wreckage of Ryan's escape pod still lay hidden under the trees. Most of it was burned, but the beacon had survived. He powered it up. A blue light blinked. A signal sent into space. He turned to Zyra. "They'll come for me, my people. Then I'll stand by you," she said. "Whatever comes." Hours passed, then in the sky, a light appeared, a ship, Earth symbol on the side. Ryan watched it land with a deep breath. He didn't know what they would say, or how he would explain Zyra, or the ring, or the power now inside him, but it didn't matter. He had changed. Because of her. And she had lived. Because of him. As the ship's doors opened and soldiers stepped out, weapons lowered, Ryan stood tall, Zyra beside him, her glow soft but steady. No longer just survivors, now protectors. Warriors of fire and light, together.